Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Okay, so previous class I taught you regarding Stalinism and collectivization. Okay, what do you mean by Stalinism and collectivization? Anyone? What is that?
After the death of Lenin, Stalin was the leader of Bolsheviks.
Yeah, he came to the leadership. Then what happened?
He seized the lands from the peasants and made
Yeah.
a single land.
He felt that there should be collectivization. All the lands should be collectivized. Then people should work on that. That system we call it as collectivization. Okay. Then, but some problem was there during that time, right?
Problem of grain supply.
Yeah, food grains shortage. Okay. So why? What Stalin felt regarding the food grain shortage?
He felt that the rich peasants and traders in the countryside were holding stocks.
Yes, rich peasants and other people, they are holding that food grains with them. Reason? What is the reason?
The hope of higher prices.
Yeah, expecting that in the future, the prices will be higher. So expecting this, all are keeping that food grains with them. So naturally, you know that the prices will go higher. And if the prices are going higher, people will find it difficult to buy. That is why he introduced this policy of collectivization, because he felt that if collectivization is done, who is the ownership now? Who is having the ownership?
The government.
The government is having the ownership. So government can do whatever can be done with the food grains. If food grains are there, they can supply in that, or if there is a shortage, they can provide this to the people. That he felt, and that is why he gave importance to this collectivization, the principle of collectivization here. Okay, what did he do?
The party members toured the grain producing areas.
Yes, they toured the grain producing areas and they started raiding those areas. Okay, now you can see that after raiding also, but even then you can see he could not get much food grains there, and at the same time he wants agriculture to be developed like industry. So that is why he decided to eliminate kulaks. He doesn't want to give the ownership to this private peasants here. You know, banks, industries were nationalized. We told this before. Okay, so banks and this one is nationalized in the sense you can see that he wants to avoid kulaks here. Okay, so that is what we call it as Stalin's collectivization or collective farms he wanted to introduce, and there is a particular term for that collective farms, that is kolkhoz. What is the term we are using for that? Kolkhoz here. Okay, now all these lands we can see that it was collectivized and the ownership was with the government. Anyone is against this, you know that peasants will be happy or what when their lands are taken? Whether they'll be happy?
No.
They will not be happy at all. Okay, so what they did, whoever is talking against Stalin, what will happen now? If anyone is talking against Stalin,
will be deported.
Yeah, they will be deported, they will be exiled. And he started telling that why he is deporting them, because these people are going against the ideas of socialism. And he just propagated this among the people and started giving punishment to those people who are not obeying him. And at the same time, some cultivators were there, they were having private ownership, but he used to take very strict measures towards them. He never supported them, and he was very much unsympathetic towards those who were having ownership there. So now we are going to see that even for collectivization is done for what? What was the purpose actually?
Can you show that last point?
Collectivization is done for what?
Now to increase production.
Yeah, to increase the production. So all expected expected that there will be increase in production, but you can see that production did not increase immediately. There was a reason for that. They had bad harvest. That shows that the production of food grains did not increase much, or we can see again still they were facing the food shortage or food grains shortage, and you can see that they were having famine, and because of that you see 4 million people died. Okay, you just imagine how many people, 4 million people died, in the sense that is a huge number there. Okay, now like that, so you can see now he told that, what did he say? For collectivization reason, what he told, we are going to increase the production. For that purpose only, they are introducing the collectivization. But at the same time, after collectivization policy, nothing happened to the production. Again, the food shortages were there, and you can see that not much improvement happened in the production, and because of that reason, people now they are more angry, because you know that they told the reason they will increase the production, and now nobody is, I mean, they are not having much production here. So 4 million people, they died. Many were there inside the country. They themselves were angry with the policies of the Bolsheviks. And you know that party people also started criticizing him. Party people also felt that he promised all these things and nothing happened. Still they had the food grain shortage. So what happened here? Party members themselves, they started criticizing whom? Criticizing Stalin. So Stalin, what do you feel? Stalin will sit quietly like that?
No.
No,
No,
he will show that he will be angry, and you can see that he is taking strict actions towards them. And what happened after that, which as a part of strict action, you can see that he is simply making some false reasons, and made people to be in the jail or prison or like that. Okay, so here you can see
could you please show the last slide?
the same thing, right? Okay, so because of this bad harvest, party people themselves started criticizing. And after that, Stalin felt that these critics should be controlled properly. Because if critics are not controlled properly, what will happen? They will talk against Stalin, and it will spread among the people, and people will go against Stalin. So what he did, he just started telling that those critics are against the ideas of socialism. So by telling all these things, he started giving punishment to those people. Many areas, in many areas, what he did, he accused these people and he took these people in jail. You can see 2 million people were there in prisons or in the labor camps. That many people were brought in the prisons. What was the reason? Why did he bring them to the prison and labor camps?
They criticized.
Yeah, they criticized. And what did he say? What did Stalin say? These people are?
They were
They are going against
socialism.
the ideas of socialism. By telling this, he put them in the prison or in the labor camps. So all over Russia, you can see that there was unrest. People were not much happy with the rule of Stalin, but still you can see that Stalin is ruling like a dictator in Russia during those days. Next one. Here, the global influence because of Russian Revolution. that shows. I told that because of Russia, socialism, it was spreading to other countries. Okay, or it was going, it was becoming much popular among the people during those days. So okay, so here now next topic is about how socialism had an impact on world, or whether it is a spread to other countries. That is what they have given in the global influence of Russian Revolution and USSR. Okay, now there were some socialist parties you can see in Europe. They didn't like the way how Bolsheviks came to power. You know that how Bolsheviks came to power. They stood in the election. Then what happened? What happened then? They stood in the election, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Then what happened?
Ma'am, they were not able to gain majority.
Yeah, they didn't get majority. So what happened? They just took over the power, right? So that who didn't like?
Ma'am, can you repeat the question?
See, they took over the power, and that didn't liked by some others. That is what just now I told. Even there were some socialist parties, they themselves didn't like how the power was taken over by the Bolsheviks. So it is like that some socialist parties were there. They themselves didn't like how the power was taken by the Bolsheviks. How the power was taken? It was like compulsorily taken over, right? That was not liked by the people in Europe here. Okay, socialist parties here. Okay, so existing socialist parties in Europe, they didn't like the way how Bolsheviks have taken over the power. And by seeing the socialist ideas, you can see that many countries, they introduced communist parties in their country. Okay, so even though they didn't like how the Bolsheviks worked, but in many of the countries, we can see that communist parties were formed. Okay, one example they have given, that is Communist Party of Great Britain. Communist Party of Great Britain is an example they have given in your textbook to show that in many of these areas, communist parties were formed. Not only in Great Britain, many European countries, we can see that communist parties were formed there. Okay. At the same time, we can see many non-Russians. Non-Russians, you know that those who are not belonging to Russia, they participated in the conference of Peoples of East. Peoples of East, in the sense here mainly the conference is for communist, those who are believing in communist party. Okay, that and the Bolsheviks. So there was a conference mainly for communist party, or mainly which promoted communist ideas and socialist ideas. They had a conference. So in that, many non-Russians participated. Another one thing, Bolsheviks, what they did, they found one international union for these socialist parties. We call it as Comintern. What is the term here?
Comintern.
Comintern. What do you mean by Comintern?
An international union
of Bolshevik Socialist Party, or simple terms we can say that International Union of Socialist Parties here, or those who believe in socialism, those who are believing in Bolshevik ideas, they formed an international union, and the name of that international union is Comintern. Now next one, it is related to next one. You can see some people, they are getting education from Communist University of the Workers. Okay, when we say Communist University of Workers, you know that they will teach, they will give education. At the same time, they will teach what also? What also they will teach? Ideas of socialism or communism. Okay, so here, so many people started getting education from USSR's Communist University. Then you can see that till Second World War, socialist ideas or communist ideas, it was very much prevalent in USSR. Or we can say that it was very strong in USSR. Or if you take the case of world, USSR was a leading power who follows socialism in their country. It was like that. But you can see that slowly after Second World War, you can see slowly that power of socialism is getting reduced in USSR. Okay, because some people started to have a feeling that they are following all the ideals of socialism, but something is missing for the people. Everything is owned by government, everything is given to the people. People are given cheap health facilities, they are given education, everything is given. But main one important thing is missing in Russia. What is that? One main important thing which should be there for, or which is a main criteria in democracy, if you say, what is that?
Power.
Is it power?
Ma'am, can you repeat the question?
Put it in a simple term. It is, see, education is provided to the people, health facilities are provided to the, everything they will give. Even food, grains, everything they'll give. But something is missing there. What is that?
Freedom.
Freedom, very good. Okay, so there, everything, they are taking care of the people, they are taking care of agriculture, they are taking care of industry. If you see USSR, after they became a socialist country, a lot of development happened there. Industry flourished, agriculture flourished, a lot of development happened in Russia. Everywhere the people are having everything, they are providing the people at a very cheaper rate. Everything is there, but only one thing is missing, that is freedom. Okay, so in the world, you can see that slowly, people started to have a feeling that all they are not well in Soviet Union. What is the reason? Because it had denied the essential freedom to its citizens. They are not giving essential freedom to the people. So that is a great drawback we can see regarding socialism in Russia. Whenever there is a problem, or whenever the freedom is not given to the people, what they used to say that, what they say, it is for socialism. To bring socialism, to develop socialism, they are bringing strict action or taking strict action towards the people. This is what they used to tell. So what they say that I told you that all sorts of development is happening. But when they are doing the development, they are giving more importance to repressive policies. What do you mean by repressive policy? What is that? Government is repressing whom?
Citizens.
The government is repressing the citizens here. So what happened by the end of 20th century, we can see that USSR is losing its significance, and it is no more now a country which is purely a socialist one. Okay, or we can see the disintegration of USSR by the end of 20th century, or we can say USSR declined, the socialist country as a socialist country, it declined, its power reduced in. Okay, then bye everyone. Now next class we'll start with DP. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Not start
Thank
with,
you.
we'll continue deeply. Okay, bye.
Thank you, ma'am.